The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen glowing like a beacon in the dim morning light. I froze, coffee mug halfway to my lips, as my wife's name flashed across it. Lila. A text. Not from me. The words seared into my retinas. Last night was everything. Can't wait to see you again. My chest tightened, a vice clamping my lungs. The mug slipped, shattering on the tile, coffee pooling like blood. Lila was upstairs, still asleep, her soft breaths a lie I'd believed for 10 years. The house felt too quiet, the kind of silence that screams. I stood there, staring at the shards, my heart hammering a rhythm of dread. Who sent that? Why now? Lila's phone was always locked, a fortress of passcodes I'd never questioned. But last night, she'd come home late, her laughter too bright, her eyes avoiding mine. Work ran long, she'd said, her perfume sharp with something unfamiliar. Citrus, maybe, or betrayal. I'd dismissed it, chalking it up to exhaustion, to my own paranoia. Now the text burned through that flimsy excuse. I grabbed her phone, my hands trembling. The screen locked instantly, demanding a code. My thumb hovered, useless. Our anniversary 0413 didn't work. Her birthday 0927 failed too. My stomach churned. When had she changed it? Why? The stairs creaked under my weight as I climbed, each step heavier, like wading through molasses. Lila lay in our bed, her dark hair fanned across the pillow, peaceful in a way that now felt like a mockery. I wanted to shake her, demand answers, but my voice caught in my throat, raw and useless. Instead, I retreated to the kitchen, the text replaying in my mind. Last night was everything. What was everything? A meeting? A drink? Or something that would gut me? I poured another coffee, the bitterness mirroring the taste in my mouth. Lila had been distant for months, small things, like her phone always face down, her sudden need for space after dinner, her new habit of locking the bathroom door while she showered. I'd told myself it was stress, her new promotion, the strain of my family's constant visits. They're exhausting, she'd said once, her voice tight, and I'd laughed it off, promising to set boundaries. But what if it wasn't my family she was tired of? The day dragged, each hour a slow drip of suspicion. Lila woke, kissed my cheek, and acted like nothing was wrong. You okay, Tom? She asked, her hazel eyes searching mine. I nodded, my throat too tight to speak. Her smile was soft, familiar, but now it felt like a mask. She left for work, her heels clicking on the hardwood, and I was alone with my thoughts, each one a splinter in my mind. I checked her phone again, still locked. I scoured her laptop, her emails, her social media, but found nothing. Just sterile, perfect normalcy. It made the text feel louder, more real. By evening, I was unraveling. Lila came home, her coat damp from the rain, her cheeks flushed. Rough day, she said, tossing her bag on the counter. I watched her move, graceful as always, but now every gesture felt calculated. You're quiet, she noted, pouring wine. Her voice was casual, but her fingers tightened around the glass. I wanted to ask about the text, to scream it, but instead I mumbled, just tired. She nodded, sipping her wine, and the silence between us grew teeth. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lila's breathing was steady beside me, but my mind raced. The text wasn't a mistake, it was a crack in our life, and I needed to know how deep it ran. At 2 a.m., I slipped out of bed, her phone in my hand again. I tried random codes, our dog's birthday, her mother's maiden name, until in desperation, I typed 0719. It unlocked. My heart stopped. July 19th. The day we met. Why did that feel like a betrayal too? Her messages opened, a flood of secrets. The sender was Alex, a name I didn't know. I scrolled, my pulse a drumbeat. Meet me at the hotel again. You make me feel alive. When are you leaving him? Each word was a blade, slicing through a decade of memories. Our wedding, our fights, our quiet mornings. Lila's replies were worse, soon. I'm trying. My knees buckled. I sank to the floor, the phone trembling in my hands. She was planning to leave. For Alex. Who was he? A coworker? A friend? Someone who didn't carry the baggage of my loud, messy family? The next day, I followed her. I called in sick, my voice hollow, and tailed her car through the city's gray drizzle. She parked at a cafe, not her office. My hands gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. Through the window, I saw her laugh, her hand brushing a man's arm. He was tall, sharp-jawed, his smile too easy. Alex. It had to be. My chest burned, rage and grief colliding. I wanted to storm in, confront them, but my body wouldn't move. Instead, I watched a ghost in my own life. Days blurred. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. Doubt crept in. Maybe I'd misread. Maybe it was platonic. Maybe I was the problem. But the texts kept coming, each one a confirmation. I love you. I'm scared, but I want this. I stopped eating, stopped sleeping. Lila noticed, her concern a cruel irony. You're not yourself, Tom, she said, her hand on mine. I pulled away, her touch acid on my skin. The breaking point came a week later. Another text, tonight. Same place. I followed her again, this time to a hotel. The neon sign flickered, casting shadows on my car's dashboard. I waited, hours bleeding into each other, until she emerged, Alex's arm around her. They kissed, unhurried, under the streetlight. My world collapsed. I drove home numb and waited. When Lila walked in, I was on the couch, her phone in my hand. Who's Alex? I asked, my voice a stranger's. Her face drained of color, her mouth opening, closing, like a fish gasping for air. Tom, she started, but I cut her off. I saw you. I know. Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt no pity, only a cold, hollow rage. How long? I demanded. 6 months, she whispered. I didn't mean for it to happen. I was just tired. Tired of pretending everything was fine. Her words echoed the text that started it all. And I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. Pretending to love me? I asked. She shook her head, sobbing, but I didn't believe her. Not anymore. I left that night, her apologies chasing me into the dark. In a motel room, I sat on the bed, staring at a photo of us on my phone, smiling, happy, a lie. Then my phone buzzed. A new message, not from Lila. From my sister. Tom, I need to tell you something. About Lila. And Dad. My blood ran cold. Another betrayal. Another crack. The story wasn't over. It was just beginning.